Hello everyone, this video is brought to you by the Seventh Monk. It is lecture 5 in the series of videos on CBSE Class 12th Macroeconomics. In this video, we would be doing the expenditure method for calculating national income. So national income by expenditure method is a sum of expenditure on final goods and services that are produced in an accounting year by the normal residents of the country in any part of the world. And always remember that final goods and services are either for final consumption or for final investment. So when we include the expenditure on final goods and services that are produced in an accounting year by residents in any part of the world, then we reach at national income through expenditure method. Okay. In order to estimate national income from expenditure method, we first need to reach at GDP at market price. If you remember, then while calculating national income from product method, we first of all found GDP at market price by adding the value added by all the firms together. After that, we reached at all the other aggregates that were asked in the question. Similarly, in income method, we first reached at NDP at factor cost by adding compensation of employees, operating surplus, and mixed income of self-employed together. And after that, we reached at all the other aggregates that were asked in the question. So similarly, while calculating national income from expenditure method, we will first reach at GDP at market price by adding some components, and then from GDP at market price we can reach at any component that we like. Alright, so let's see what are the components of GDP at market price from expenditure method. Okay, so here you can see that there are basically 4 economic sectors that incur final consumption. These are household sector, producing sector, government sector, and the foreign sector, that is the rest of the world. In the previous slide as well, I told you that final consumption is either for expenditure is either for final consumption or for investment. Alright, so we include the expenditure for both final consumption as well as final investment while calculating GDP at market price from expenditure method. Alright, so first of all, you should know that there are 4 components that we have to add together in order to reach at GDP at market price. The first component is private final consumption expenditure, that is including all the final consumption expenditure that is done by household sector and the producing sector. The second component is government final consumption expenditure. It includes all the final consumption expenditure that is incurred by the government sector. Okay, and the third component is gross capital formation, that includes all the investment expenditure that is done by all these 3 sectors, that is household sector, producing sector, and the government sector. And after that we have net exports, that is the expenditure done by rest of the world. Net exports is simply exports minus imports. When we will add all these 4 components together, then we will reach at gross domestic product at market price. And once we have gross domestic product at market price, then finding national income is very easy, because national income is simply NNP at factor cost. Okay, and in order to reach at NNP at factor cost from GDP at market price, we need to first subtract depreciation, and then we need to add NFIA, and then we just need to subtract NIT from GDP at market price. Then we can easily reach at NNP at factor cost. I hope that this is clear to you. Now always remember one more thing, that gross capital formation includes 2 things. These are gross fixed capital formation plus change in stock. Alright, see, gross fixed capital formation is the fixed investment done by all these 3 sectors, and change in stock is change in inventories. Okay, so when we will add both these things together, then we will reach at gross capital formation. If in the question gross capital formation is not given to us directly, then we will add these two components together in order to reach at gross capital formation. But if gross capital formation is given to you in the question, along with it change in stock is also given to you, then please don't include change in stock, otherwise it will lead to double counting, because gross capital formation already includes change in stock as well. Alright, so here you can see I have shown you all the components of final expenditure, all the four components of final expenditure. Okay, the first component is private final consumption expenditure. The second component is government final consumption expenditure. See, private final consumption expenditure includes all the final consumption expenditure that households and producing sectors are doing. For example, if we buy vegetables, fruits, clothes, etc., then that would be a part of final consumption expenditure, that is private final consumption expenditure. Okay. Then the second part is government final consumption expenditure. It includes all the consumption expenditure that government is incurring. For example, if there is an office of government, okay, and there they are buying some paper and some other things, then that would become the part of government final consumption expenditure. Okay. Then the third part is gross domestic capital formation. Gross domestic capital formation is the sum of gross domestic fixed capital formation and change in stock. Okay, change in stock is change in inventories, or it is also called inventory investment. All right, and gross domestic fixed capital formation includes three things. These are the investment by all the three sectors: household sector, producing sector, and government sector. So it includes gross business fixed investment, that is the fixed investment of producing sector. Then second is gross residential construction investment, which includes the fixed investment of household sector. And the third component is gross public investment, which include the investment of government sector. So when we will add all these together, okay, then we will reach at gross domestic fixed capital formation. And when we will add gross domestic fixed capital formation with change in stock, then we will reach at gross domestic capital formation. Okay, then the next component, the fourth component, is net export, which is exports minus imports. All right, now here you can see that once we are clear with it, once we have found GDP at market price by adding all these components together, then we can reach at NNP at factor cost easily by subtracting depreciation, by adding NFIA, and by subtracting NIT from it. Alright, see, gross fixed investment plus change in stock together is gross domestic investment, or simply gross investment. Alright, whenever there is fixed, it means you have to include change in stock as well. Okay, I hope that this is clear to you, that how we find national income by using expenditure method. Okay, now here you can see that I have shown that NFIA is simply factor income earned from abroad minus factor income paid to abroad. Net exports is exports minus imports, and net indirect tax is indirect tax minus subsidies. We have already discussed these terms in our previous lectures as well. Net exports was new to you, so remember that it is exports minus imports. We had discussed it already in the preceding slides, right? Now here I have shown you few names that are interchangeably used, right, for gross investment, for gross fixed investment, and for change in stock. If you are clear with these names, then believe me, you will not face any problem while solving numericals. Okay, so gross investment is also called gross capital formation. It is also called gross domestic capital formation, right? Whenever there is simply investment or simply capital formation or domestic capital formation, then remember it includes change in stock as well as gross fixed investment in it. All right. But if there is gross fixed investment, or gross domestic fixed capital formation, or gross fixed capital formation, or gross domestic fixed investment, then remember that it does not include change in stock, then you need to include change in stock or change in inventories in it. Alright, so whenever it is fixed, then you have to include change in stock, but if the investment is not given as fixed, then it means it already includes change in stock in it. You need not to include it, otherwise it will lead to the problem of double counting. Okay, now let's see one question in order to see whether whatever we have done in the preceding slides is clear to us or not. Here the question is asking us to calculate GDP at market price and GNP at market price. So I have told you that in order to reach at any aggregate from national income, first you need to find GDP at market price, and the first part is also asking us to do same. You know that GDP at market price is the sum of four things, that is private final consumption expenditure, which is given here as 55,000, plus government final consumption expenditure, that is 6,000, plus gross domestic capital formation, that is 5,000 over here. See, it is gross domestic capital formation, not gross fixed domestic capital formation. Since it is gross domestic capital formation, it means it already includes stocks in it. So we will not do the mistake of including stocks in it, okay, because it already include it in its value, because gross domestic capital formation is gross fixed domestic capital formation plus change in stock. All right, so we will not include these stocks. Okay, so GDP at market price will be private final consumption expenditure plus government final consumption expenditure plus gross domestic capital formation plus net exports. Now net exports is exports minus imports. Exports are 900 and imports are 1000. So next net export would be minus 100. Alright. So when we will do 55,000 plus 6,000 plus 500, it would be equal to 66,000. Then plus minus 100, then that would be equal to 65,900. So GDP at market price is 65,900. Now coming to the second part of the question, it is asking us to calculate GNP at market price. Now in order to reach at GNP at market price from GDP at market price, what I need to do? I need to simply add NFIA to it. Okay, and the value of NFIA is given here as minus 500. So when I will add the value of NFIA, that is minus 500 to it, then I will get GNP at market price as 65,400. So I hope that this solution is clear to you. All right, how we reached at first of all GDP at market price, and then from GDP at market price how we reached at GNP at market price. So I am repeating it once more. GDP at market price was the sum of private final consumption expenditure, government final consumption expenditure, gross domestic capital formation, and change in stock. And the sum of net exports. Okay, once by adding them we reached at GDP at market price. We moved to GNP at market price simply by adding NFIA to it, okay, which was equal to minus 500. So the value of GDP at market price we got as 65,900, and the value of GNP at market price we got as 65,400. Okay, now coming to the next part. Here you can see I have again showed you the steps of estimating national income, so that while doing the question you can once more recapitulate it. So it is a sum of all these things that we did: private final consumption expenditure, government final consumption expenditure, gross capital formation, and net exports. All right, now here is a neat and clean solution, but here there is one problem with this solution. You can see here that there is some print mistake. They have included change in stock as well, but this change in stock should not have been included, because gross domestic capital formation already includes change in stock as well. All right, so this is quite wrong. This would not be there, so it would be 100 and the answer would be 65,900. All right, similarly here also the answer became wrong just because of this. It would be 65,900 minus 500, it would become 65,400. All right, I hope that this is clear to you. So the answer was very simple. The answer was simply GDP at market prices, personal final consumption expenditure plus government final consumption expenditure plus gross domestic capital formation plus net exports. They have mistakenly included change in stocks as well, but we should not do this mistake, okay, because it will lead to overestimation of national income. So our answer was 65,900. Then in order to reach a GNP at market price, we added NFIA, that is minus 500 to it. Then we got our answer as 65,400. I hope that this is clear to you, right? We added minus 500 to it. Okay, so now there is next question. Here we have to calculate national income by income method as well as by expenditure method. Okay, now see, in order to calculate national income by income method, you all know that first of all we need to reach at NDP at factor cost. Okay, and NDP at factor cost is a sum of compensation of employees, operating surplus and mixed income of self-employed. So here the components of compensation of employees are given. Wage is given 50 and social security contribution by employer is given as 10. So compensation of employees would be 50 plus 10, that is 60, plus operating surplus is given here as 20. Okay, plus mixed income is given here as 40. So NDP at factor cost would be 60 plus 20 plus 40, that is equal to 120. Now in order to reach at national income, that is NNP at factor cost, what we will do, in order to reach at national income, NNP at factor cost, we will add NFIA to NDP at factor cost. Okay, we will add NFIA to it. So here you can see that NFIA is given to us as minus 10. So when we will add minus 10 to 120, then we will get our national income as 110. Okay, 110 crores. Don't forget to mention units, okay, that are given in the question. Now let's do the same by, so remember that by income method, remember the answer that by income method our answer was 110. Now let's solve it by doing expenditure method. So you know that in order to reach at national income from expenditure method, first we need to calculate GDP at market price, and then from GDP at market price we can reach at national income easily. Okay, so GDP at market price is a sum of private final consumption expenditure, that is given here as 100, okay, plus government final consumption expenditure, that is 20, okay, plus gross domestic capital formation, and gross domestic capital formation, you know, is a sum of gross domestic fixed capital formation and change in stocks. All right, so change in stocks, addition to stocks are given here as minus 5, and gross domestic fixed capital formation is not given to us. They have given us net domestic fixed capital formation, which is equal to 30. Now in order to reach at gross domestic fixed capital formation, we need to add depreciation to it. Okay, but no need to do this, because ultimately we have to find national income, that is NNP at factor cost. So ultimately we have to move from gross to net. So it is better that we do not include depreciation in it, and we make this gross as net. Okay, so this gross, we will make this gross as net. Okay, because here we are including net domestic fixed capital formation, right? So it is not including depreciation in it. It means that our total will be equal to net domestic product at market price. Is that clear? So we will add these two things together in order to reach it net domestic capital formation, and then finally we will add the fourth component, that is net exports, to it. Okay, so in order to reach it NDP at market price, what we did, we included private final consumption expenditure plus government final consumption expenditure plus net domestic capital formation, that is the sum of net domestic fixed capital formation and change in stock. Okay, here addition in stock is -5, and then we included the fourth component, that is net export, which is equal to -5. So NDP at market price will be equal to 100, okay, plus 20, right? That is government final consumption expenditure, plus 30 plus -5, that is equal to 25, plus 5 -5, okay. So it would be equal to how much? 100 plus, it would be equal to 140, right? Now in order to find NNP at factor cost, what we will do, we will add NFIA and we will subtract NIT from it, okay. So NFIA is given here as -10, so we will add -10, that is NFIA, and we will subtract NIT from it. So here you can see indirect taxes are 25 and subsidies are given here as 5. So net indirect tax is indirect tax minus subsidies, that is 25 minus 5, which is equal to 20. So we will subtract NIT from it. So by doing so, 140 plus -10 plus -20, we get the total as 110. So here you can notice that our answer by both the method, by income method as well as by expenditure method, is same. And don't forget to mention the units, both are in crore, okay. So how we reached that answer, I hope that this is clear to you. Here I have mentioned the same in a neat and clean way. So by income method, in order to reach at national income, first of all what we did, we found NDP at factor cost by adding compensation of employees, operating surplus, and mixed income of self-employed together. Components of compensation of employees were given as wages and social security contribution by the employer. So we added it together with operating surplus and mixed income. Then we got what? Then we got NDP at factor cost, and then in order to reach it NNP at factor cost, we added NFIA to it. Finally, we got 110 crore as our national income. Here you can see. Alright. And then by expenditure method, what we did, we first of all added private final consumption expenditure to government final consumption expenditure to net domestic fixed capital formation to change in stock to net exports in order to reach at net domestic product at market price. And then in order to reach at national income, that is NNP at factor cost, what we did, we first of all added NFIA to it. We subtracted net indirect tax, that was indirect tax minus subsidies, 20 minus 5, that is equal to 20. So when we subtracted 10 and 20 from NDP at factor cost, then finally we got our answer as 110 crores from expenditure method, okay. Since your NFIA was given in minus terms, that's why we subtracted it, because plus minus is minus, okay. Alright, now coming to the next question. Here the question is asking you to estimate national income. Here it is asking us to estimate GDP at market price and net value added at factor cost, right? And it is telling us to prove that we have to show that the national income, that net value added at factor cost, and third we have to prove that it is equal to income generated. Okay, we have to prove that the net value added at factor cost is equal to income generated. Okay, you all know what is net value added at factor cost. In product method we did it. What is net value added at factor cost? See, net value added at factor cost is always operating surplus plus compensation of employees plus mixed income of self-employed. Okay, is that clear? Or it is simply value of output minus intermediate consumption minus depreciation minus net indirect tax. Okay, this is net value added at factor cost. Okay, and you all know that value of output is the sum of compensation of employees, operating surplus, mixed income of self-employees, intermediate consumption, depreciation, and net indirect tax. So NVA at factor cost is simply either the addition of these three things, or it is value of output minus intermediate consumption minus depreciation minus NIT. Alright, and the second thing they are asking us is income generated. So income generated is always net domestic product at factor cost, which is equal to the sum of compensation of employees plus operating surplus plus mixed income of self-employed. So if you will see, both the things are same. Okay, whether you say NDP at factor cost or net value added at factor cost, it is same. The only difference is that net value added at factor cost is of one firm and NDP at factor cost is of the entire economy. And if we are talking about only one firm, then always net value added at factor cost is equal to net domestic product at factor cost. Alright, and since the question is talking about only one firm over here, okay, it has given us the data of only one particular identical unit. Okay, so here net value added at factor cost will be equal to net domestic product at factor cost. Okay, now we have to prove it. We know it theoretically, but we have to prove it in this question. So we will see how we do it in the later stages. Let's first do the first part and then the second part, then we will reach at this part of the question. Okay, so for now just remember these things that I told you, these theoretical things, right? So the question first is saying us to calculate GDP at market price. Okay, now you all know what is GDP at market price. So see, GDP at market price is always value of output minus intermediate consumption. Okay, and value of output is sales plus change in stock. Sales is given here as 10,000. Okay, and change in stock is given here as 1,000. So 10,000 plus 1,000 would be 11,000. So value of output is 11,000. Okay, minus intermediate consumption. So intermediate consumption will include purchase of raw material from other firms, purchase of fuel and power. Okay, it will include both these things. So it would be equal to 1,650 plus 850. So if we will add these together, we will get 0, 0, 2,500. Okay, so intermediate consumption is 2,500. When we will subtract 11,000 by 2,500, then we will get it as 8,500. Okay, so gross domestic product at market price will be 8,500. Okay, so here you can see I have shown the solution of the first part. So GDP at market price would be sales plus change in stock. Change in stock is increase in stock. Okay, minus purchase of raw material, that is intermediate consumption, and intermediate consumption includes these two things, purchase of raw material and purchase of fuel and power. So it would be equal to 8,500 as I have shown over here. Now the next part of the question is asking us to calculate net value added at factor cost. Okay, and you know that net value added at factor cost is simply value of output minus intermediate consumption minus depreciation minus net indirect tax. Okay, so here you can see that these things are given to us or not. So consumption of fixed capital, that is depreciation, is given as 500. Okay, and net indirect tax here is given to us as 800. So when we will subtract 500 and 800 from gross value added at market price, that is value of output minus intermediate consumption, then we will reach at net value added at factor cost. So value of output minus intermediate consumption was 8,500. So when we will subtract 500 and 800, that is depreciation and net indirect tax from it, then we will get the net value added at factor cost, and it would be equal to 7,200. Okay, so here you can see the solution. What the solution is telling you, that net value added at factor cost is equal to 7,200 crores. Alright, and they did in the same way, because first of all what they did, sales plus change in stock is what? Sales plus change in stock is the value of output minus intermediate consumption, which is the sum of purchase of raw material and purchase of fuel and power. Then they subtracted consumption of fixed capital, that is depreciation, and then net indirect tax from it, and at the end they reached at the answer as 7,200 crores. Alright, so is that clear? It is equal to 7,200 crore, and how we did it, I hope that this is clear to you. Now coming to the last part, they are saying prove that it is equal to the income generated. Okay, so our net value added at factor cost was 7,200 crore, right? Now you all know that income generated is a sum of three things. Okay, and what are those three things? Those three things are compensation of employees, operating surplus, and mixed income of self-employed. Okay, so let's see. Here you can see that compensation of employees is not given to us directly, but its components are given. So the first component is shown here as wages and salaries. Okay, so compensation of employees will be 3,500 because only one component of compensation of employees is given to us. Then the second thing is operating surplus. Operating surplus includes various things, and what are those things? Rent. So rent is given here as 700. Here you can see. So operating surplus would be 700 plus rent plus royalty is not given to us, interest is not given to us, and the components of profits are given to us. So profit is dividend, that is 1500. Okay, plus corporate gain tax, that is 300, plus undistributed profit, that is 200. Okay, and mixed income is not given to us. So when we will add all these things together, compensation of employees and the components of operating surplus, then you will notice that the total value will be equal to the same as that was of net value added at factor cost. So when we add all these things together, we get it as 7,200. And if you remember, the value of net value added at factor cost was also 7,200. So hence it is proved that the net value added at factor cost is always equal to the value of income generated. Is that clear? Now remember one thing only, that first of all mention the theoretical aspect, that why it is equal, because since net value added at factor cost also includes only these three things: compensation of employees, operating surplus, and mixed income of self-employed. It is extracted by subtracting intermediate consumption, depreciation, and net indirect tax from value of output. And value of output is nothing but the sum of compensation of employees, operating surplus, mixed income of self-employed, intermediate consumption, depreciation, and net indirect tax. Okay, so finally when we reach at net value added at factor cost, only these three things remain, that is operating surplus, compensation of employees, and mixed income of self-employed. And the income generated is also the sum of all these three things, hence they are equal. This is a theoretical aspect. Now you will show it numerically by doing it. Okay, so numerically in the same way as I did in this question. First of all, you will find net value added at factor cost by doing value of output minus intermediate consumption minus depreciation minus net indirect tax. You will reach at the value of 7,200. Then you will do the same thing for finding out the income generated by doing the sum of compensation of employees, operating surplus, and mixed income of self-employed. That again was 7,200 in this case. So hence both of these were equal. So here you can see its solution. Okay, see in the solution they have directly mentioned that hence it is proved that the net value added at factor cost is equal to income generated. But if we see practically, they haven't proved it anywhere. But in the answer, in order to get good marks, you have to prove it. Alright, you have to prove your point. Now see, coming to the precautions for estimating national income, from expenditure method, they are same as they were there in product method and income method, that transfer income will not be included because it is unilateral payment. Income from sales of second hand good will not be included. Why? Because these were already included when they were sold for the first time. But the services of brokerage and the commission agent, which are generated while sales of second hand good will be included, because there is new service generation. Income from sale of share is not included because they are merely paper claim. There is no corresponding generation of income or output. All right, it is only changing the name of the owner. All right. And then income from windfall gains will not be included because they are effortless income, they are simply transfer income. And then payment out of savings is not included because it was already included when you earned in that year. Okay. Imputed value is always included. Why? In order to avoid the problem of underestimation of national income. Okay. So I hope that this all thing is clear to you. And also remember that only final expenditure will be taken, not intermediate expenditure, because if we will take the value of intermediate goods as well, it will lead to the problem of double counting, and expenditure on second hand goods will not be included, right? So these are all the precautions that we had already discussed, right? So that's all for this video. Thanks for watching. If you like it, then please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel, The Seventh Monk, to never miss any update. Thank you. Hello everyone.